It's the next day, and I got some goodies from EFI Source. I said, fuck it, we'll just go right with the 80 pounders, and I'm gonna hook up I'm gonna try anyway, I'm gonna hook up a micro squirt to use for secondary fuel. So I got some stuff from Mike, micro squirt, short harness, injector harnesses, and twin 80 pounders. So we're gonna put these 80 pounders, where these like Ford 19s or whatever the hell they are, exist. So we're gonna swap out the injectors quick, and then I'm gonna get into starting to wire this, and I think I'm gonna go get some gasoline with my gas cans and put it into the truck then, and see if anything leaks, and then if it doesn't leak and I can maintain some sort of pressure, and my little return line regulator, it's only 1/4 inch fuel line for the return. I'm hoping that works out. I don't see why it wouldn't. Might not. We'll see. So I'm going to toss these guys in there and then get started on some wiring and some other things. And I should run the fuel pump and put the truck in the ground. Once the fuel pump runs without leaks and the pressure holds, I can put the truck back down because this truck is so huge. I'm standing on the stool right now. This truck is gigantic. So let me grab my 11mm friend, and we will swap these Joneses out. $11mm. Can you even see while I'm over here? Can you? Can ya? Can you? Man, I just tightened this by hand, but I sure snugged it. I had retard strength or something going on. No offense to retards. I'm not that great. I'm just going to grab a giant adjustable. I don't feel like messing around. Looking for an 11/16, which is what it should be. Okay, there's my fuel feed. And there's this 11. And there's this 11. I knew I should have just left this off, install it 2 or 3 times, but sometimes you can't help yourself, right? You gotta do it 2 or 3 times. Make yourself feel better. I wish I could put an impact gun on here, but I'd probably strip the damn things out. Let's be real for a second. I'll probably overdo it. So I'll yank this guy out and show you how I swap these 80 bizzles. I think everything is sealed and closed and tight. Quick way to tell is to dump some fucking gas in there and see if it pours out. Actually, let's get the drip pan set up ahead of time so I don't have to lay in it. That's a fantastic idea. It's almost like I've had it happen before. Dump some fuel in here and see what happens. Oh, my fuel pump thing isn't tight. It's like a 15/16 fitting. It looks okay. Before we go dumping in another gallon or 5. I mean, the diesel guys love this shit. I've seen other people run them too. Huh. It looks leak-free. So then we'll hook up the jumper pack to this pump and see what happens. Didn't run wiring yet. Let's give the pump a jump. That'll be enough to flow some fucking fluid. Try not to hurt myself here. Keyword, try. Big ass cables. Well, lost the line. That's gonna make a mess. 150 pounds-ish before it kicked off up front. Where'd it let go? I heard it let go. Yep. Squirted everything up here. I wonder if the bigger regulator will return enough. Or if I just open up this regulator a whole lot. It seems pretty low. Actually, maybe I can just open the regulator a lot. Reconnect this line and hose clamp it. Okay guys, quick overview of the assholery I have going on here that works. That's the key thing here. What I did was I jumped this pump to check for leaks, and I watched the fuel pressure instantly. This is a compressor gauge. This is a compressor gauge. I instantly watched the fuel pressure wrap this bitch almost 150 psi and blow the front line off the fuel rail up front that didn't have a hose clamp on it. It wasn't a push lock fitting. It was just like one of these things, and it blew the hose right off. And I was like, well shit, maybe my return can't return enough. And I looked at my regulator here, and lo and behold, this guy was crushed, like all the way down. So I opened it way up, and I actually was able to get like 20 pounds of fuel pressure. So that's incredible, because if you look at what's going on here, I used the drain as the return with a nitrous line that I had left over from the guys at Nitrous Outlet. This is a 3/4 inch or 5/8, I can't remember, I think it's 5/8, into a AN that I bought for the pump. And then what I have going on here is like a nitrous line T-fitting, and that's a 1/4 inch hose, and the 1/4 inch hose goes into the regulator. And the regulator has the 1/4 inch barb, and then the nitrous line that returns to the drain. And that there is enough to regulate the fuel pressure. And then the rest of it's 3/8 all the way up front to the 80s. So it's directly feeding the 80s, and then when it backs up into this T-fitting, it returns into this regulator, which holds the pressure right, which returns it into the drain, into the tank, and it's not leaking at all. I'm very happy with that so far. But I had all this in spare parts and figured that that regulator too, I was like, ah, fuck it. Yeah, see, it blew this guy right off, so I hose clamped it. I don't have smaller fucking hose clamps, so I put this Gorilla hose clamp on there. So I'll probably just trim that. But those are the 80 pounders in there also. So the secondary system holds fuel pressure at, I turned it to 45 psi. So that's where it'll sit. So incredible that that piece of shit 1/4 inch regulator was able to do that with the AEM pump with a T-fitting on the feed. It's pretty insane what you can get away with when you don't care and you ignore what you're supposed to do.